Howdy y'all and welcome. Hope everybody's doing well out there so far. Let's go ahead and get right on into it here as we have some severe weather going on today over here in the Ohio Valley as a slight risk has been issued from Illinois on up into Ohio down into Kentucky. Now again, forget about the marginal risk as there is going to be some severe weather along these areas as well. Now the main risk today is going to be mainly damaging winds within the entire slight risk zones. There is a 15% chance, and within the marginal risk zone, there's a 5% chance. As far as the tornado threat, it's a low-end threat, but keep in mind that significant tornadoes can happen on low-end days. As far as large hail threat goes, it's a 5% chance. So basically, it's going to be a big old windbag event with a few small tornadoes possible. As we move off into Friday, there is a marginal risk in effect really much of the eastern half of the country from Indiana all the way over into New Jersey down into the Carolinas. Now, the only threat tomorrow is going to be mainly damaging winds as a low-end threat for that has been issued, which is a 5% chance, so be aware of this as power outages could happen, and make sure you put up anything you don't want blowing around as well. There is no tornado or large hail threat, which is some good news. As we move off into Saturday, it's looking like some weekend plans are going to get ruined, unfortunately, as a marginal risk has been issued from New York down into Georgia. And this also includes part of the eastern part of the Dakotas on over into Minnesota. Now, we don't know what the main hazards are just yet, but make sure you go follow my X and Facebook pages as I do daily weather forecasts on there. We will still get into the timing, so make sure you keep on watching, y'all. And this may actually be related to this little tropical storm chance down here in the Gulf, which we'll get into here in a little bit. Now, as far as the 4 to 8 day outlook goes, it's really not much in the way of any severe weather out there as of today. Now, in severe weather, we do got some major flooding going on as a slight risk has been issued from Wisconsin down into Kentucky and parts of northeastern Tennessee in this as well. Now, on Friday, there's another slight risk. Now, down here, y'all had that big old flash flooding event that occurred about a couple years ago, I think. I had that flash flood emergency that caused a lot of major problems. It's looking like it's a slight risk is in effect for these areas. And on Saturday, weekend plans going to get ruined as a marginal risk for flooding has been issued up by Minnesota and parts of the Northeast and down here in the Carolinas as well. How much rainfall could y'all be getting in on for the next 3 days? Let's go take a look at that. And we'll push us all the way out to the 4th of August. Crazy, it's already August, but as we can see, it looks like we could be dealing with upwards of right around 1, 2, possibly 3 inches with locally higher amounts possible for the next couple days. So make sure you are aware of this. If you live in a low-lying area, you see a flooded roadway, please turn around and do not drown. Now let's go ahead and get into the timing of when y'all could expect the worst for the severe weather for the next few days. Take a look at this. We'll have to take a look at the HRRR model. Keep in mind that date and time is up if you ever want to keep track. And we're going to lower this down to the 12Z run to take a look at the next couple of days. And then we'll take a look at the Euro to take a look at the lightning flash density rate for Saturday's severe weather risks. And we're going to zoom in here. And we're just going to focus on the slight risk. If you live under the marginal risk, please be aware that damaging winds and large hail is going to be a possibility today. So keep that in mind. And keep in mind that the tornado threat is going to be affecting these areas here all the way up into Wisconsin and down into Kentucky. As we push this forward, it's looking like the afternoon hours, not much is going to be really happening. It's going to be pretty clear out there. Could be having some sunny skies. That's not really something you want to see during a severe weather event, because it's going to be feeling those severe storms. And as you can see, this event's going to be starting to get wound up at right around 4 o'clock and last all the way into right around 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock. As this moves its way further towards the southeast, and it's going to be bringing a lot of major flooding with it as well. As we take a look at what kind of wind gusts y'all could be getting in on, it's looking like right around Bloomington at right around 4 o'clock. It's looking like upwards of 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts could be possible, so looks like some power outages could be possible later today as this windbag event starts to move through. So please make sure you put up anything you don't want blowing around or damaged from large hail today as well. As it's looking like from 4 o'clock through 9 o'clock is when I would expect the worst of the severe weather to occur, as this windbag event is going to be rolling through the Ohio Valley tonight. Now, I did forget to mention that there is a low wind threat for tornadoes, so let's go take a look at the significant tornado parameters. And it's looking like the greatest chance to see a tornado is going to be down here in southeastern Kentucky, but right around 8 o'clock, as that line is going to be moving through right around a 0.4, 0.5 out of 10 is expected, especially down here in southern Kentucky. As we pull up the composite reflectivity, we can see that there is gonna be this big old line moving through around 8 o'clock near the Frankfurt area, Lexington area, down here by Bowling Green. So I definitely would be on high alert if you live down in these areas. Make sure you have a way to get alerted and know where to go when that tornado warning gets issued for your location, by the way. As, like I said earlier, significant tornadoes can happen on low end days, especially up here by Wisconsin. There is going to be some supercells rolling through around 8 o'clock as well. So definitely be on high alert today if you live within the slight risk and even the marginal risk zones as well. So now that I've covered in depth Thursday's severe weather event, let's go ahead and get into Friday's timing, as there is a marginal risk in effect for much of the eastern part of the country. As we move off into the second, it's looking like the worst of the severe was going to be occurring during the late evening into the overnight hours. There's going to be some scattered storms rolling through Kentucky and West Virginia and Ohio by right around 5 o'clock. Down here in eastern Tennessee as well. And it's looking like it's going to be mainly turning into a big old flash flooding event. Now keep in mind, tomorrow's going to be mainly a big old windbag event, as a 5% chance for that has been issued. And it's looking like y'all could be coming in on right around 20 to 30 mile an hour wind gusts, which could still knock out the power. So please be aware of this and make sure that you put up anything you don't want blowing around. And as we move off into Saturday, there is another marginal risk in effect. One up here by the Dakotas, on over to Minnesota, and one down here from Georgia up into New York. Now, to take a look at this, we want to take a look at the lightning flash density rate on the Euro. Since we don't know what the hazards are going to be, we're still going to look at the timing, and this will show us a rough estimate of what the timing will be and where the most intense storms could fire up at. Now, we already know here on Thursday, it's going to be a big old windbag event as a line's going to be rolling through. And then on Friday, scattered thunderstorms are going to be possible through much of the eastern half of the country, bringing some 20 to 30 mile per hour winds with locally higher amounts possible. As we move off into Saturday, it's looking like this will be a late evening into overnight event again. Now, I would not be surprised if they up the risk, but again, go follow my Facebook pages, as I will keep y'all updated on there. As it's looking like this is going to be possibly fueled by that little tropical development chance. As we take a look at that, we can see that there is a 20% chance within the next 48 hours, as you can see. Got some forming down there. Now, we will take a look at this here on Radar Omega here in a little bit. And as we take a look at the Eastern Pacific, we got Carlota out there, which is just going to do the spin and Rooney out there in the Pacific, become a major hurricane by Saturday. And it's going to be turning into a tropical storm by Tuesday. As we take a look at the Central Pacific, it's not going to impact Hawaii any. It might bring some heavy showers and thunderstorms later on next week. So definitely be aware of this, and definitely keep an eye on it if you live out there by Hawaii as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at this little 20% chance for the next couple days out here in the Gulf. Y'all can pause the video anytime to read this if you want to. Now, as you can see, we do have some development down here near the Dominican Republic. These clusters of storms right here are definitely going to combine and become some sort of tropical storm as we head into the next 7 days. Now, we do also, I know I'm jumping around a lot, but we do have what is called Invest 95E. Really, again, not forecasted to be much of anything, but could also bring some heavy rainfall to much of Hawaii. So definitely live out here by Hawaii. Have any viewers out there, please keep an eye on Invest 95E and this little hurricane over here in the Pacific. Now, to take a look at the track of this 60% chance for the next 7 days, we're going to have to take a look at the NAM12 kilometer model. We already know we got our clusters of storms forming out here by the Dominican Republic today, and it's going to be moving into Cuba by tomorrow, and then it's going to quickly race up towards the north, towards Florida by the 3rd, and it's going to be ruining some weekend plans, and it's looking like this is the reason why they issued that marginal risk, possibly. So definitely something to watch, and I will be keeping an eye on it on X and Facebook, as it's going to be bringing some high winds and some major flooding and drought relief to much of Florida, and it's going to be moving out by next week. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the Atlantic Basin to see if any more sort of tropical storms or hurricanes are going to be forming. We already know we got that 70% chance the next 7 days. It's going to be moving out of the country by next week. And it's looking like not much is going to be forming out there in the Atlantic Basin. So that's some good news, y'all. And as we take a look at the sea surface temperatures, we already know it's supposed to be a pretty big year, and it's looking like the sea surface temperatures are pretty boiling out there. Now, the sea surface temperatures out here in the Gulf are going to cool down for a little while due to that tropical storm chance, but again, it's looking like we're dealing with some prime conditions out there, so definitely be keeping an eye on this here in the near term. So now let's go ahead and get into what we could expect for the next couple weeks here in the lower 48. We already know we got some drought relief and some severe weather going on for the next few days amongst the eastern half of the country. And we know we got that tropical storm chance. It's going to be ruining some weekend plans down here in Florida and much of the southeast. It's going to be getting out of the country by Wednesday. And it's looking like some wildfire relief is going to be in store out west as well. Now, y'all been dealing with some wildfires out there. And it's looking like we could be coming in on some more severe weather amongst the central half of the country next week, potentially. Some severe weather out here by Colorado by Friday, August 9th. Now, keep in mind, this is over 200 hours out. Anything can will change by then. But regardless, it's looking like most of the country is going to be coming in on some drought relief and some soggy conditions. And it's looking like we could be coming in on some more severe weather, especially up here by Wisconsin and over here by Colorado. As we take a look at the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook by the Climate Prediction Center, they are showing us that much of the country is going to be well above average, and it's looking like some drought relief is going to be in store. Next 8 to 14 days, really much of the same story. So some good news, as some drought conditions have been happening out west and out east for really, actually much of the country has been dealing with some sort of drought here as of late. And lastly, let's go ahead and get into what kind of temperatures we could be coming in on. Now, if you did check out my August forecast video, I did show y'all that we are going to be heading into a little bit of a cool down as we head into the middle parts of August. And it's looking like the beginning parts of August could be coming in on a major heat wave, but it's looking like we could be coming in on a cool down as those kiddos are going to be heading back to school this week amongst the Ohio Valley, and it could be feeling like fall out there. Still going to be hot amongst the southern half of the country from Kansas on down into Texas and much of the western part of the country as well. But it's looking like we could actually be feeling like fall out there here soon, y'all. And the Climate Prediction Center is showing just that. Much of the north central part of the country is going to be below average, while the rest of the country is going to be well above average. Next 8 to 14 days, much of the country is going to be feeling a little bit of a cool down. And it's going to be feeling like fall out there. So look forward to that, y'all, as fall is actually right around the corner next month. Get excited, y'all. Pumpkin spice season is going to be making a return. I hope y'all enjoyed today's weather forecast. If you did, make sure you hit that like and share button so more folks are informed about the weather. Leave me some feedback in the comment section down below, as feedback helps provide you the viewer better and more informative content in the future. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to subscribe with bell notifications turned on so you never miss an upload, because here at Willie's Weather, we make weather forecasting fun and informative. So basically, it's looking like we could be coming in on a soggy weather pattern for the next couple of weeks for much of the country. That's some good news for those drought-like conditions and wildfires going on out west. And it's also looking like it could be feeling like fall out there here soon. So again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate y'all for watching. Have a great day. And until next time, never stop forecasting.